What is going on, movie meals? Moving meals. Hey, hope you're all staying cool out there. Global warming has decided to really come at us hard. It's hot as all heck. We're sorry
Yeah.
these videos are late. You're gonna get a swamp of videos. Another Happy Landing was supposed to come out last Saturday. Missed the deadline. I was actually, I mean, if you saw our Shang-Chi trailer, I was with Kyle. This last week, and I was taking some classes, so it was just kind of getting tough forgetting about editing, doing schoolwork all day and then trying to hang out with some friends at night, visiting. So a few videos are gonna be popping in and out pretty late here, but did get a chance to see Fast and Furious 9, Fast F9, as they say, the Fast Saga, whatever it is called these days. They do have the best titles in the game, though. They do. Too Fast, Too Furious, The Fate of the Furious.
They got a little lazy with the fourth one. Basically, they just got rid of the and just did Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, they've done all right.
Fast and Furious presents Tokyo Drift or something like that. Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got a chance to see it. Let's get into it. Not spoiler review. Kyle, what were your positives of this movie?
It does what it's supposed to do. I mean, since Fast Five, as we all know, if most of us on here, I think, have caught up with this franchise, but from Fast Five on, they've really nailed down like what type of movie they're supposed to be and how these actors are supposed to portray their characters, and kind of being self-aware and being tongue-in-cheek at the same time, and with between that and all the mindless action when it comes to the car stunts. So I mean, it keeps doing that again. I mean, maybe it dials it up a little more than the last movies do, but I don't know. To me, anyway, it just sticks with what it knows best, and it does make it entertaining, and it can be a fun watch. But yeah, I don't know. There wasn't really too much else that I can think of in terms of this movie. If you've seen the last couple of these movies, that's what F9 is. That's what you're in store for.
So I watched F8, whatever it's called. I can't even remember the title. I watched it like 3 weeks ago. What's the title of the one we just
Such
had?
creative titles.
I know, but eight got me. What is it? Why I'm just blanking.
Fate of Furious?
Is that the Fate of the Furious?
Maybe. I mean, Fate.
I just
8.
praised that. Oh, that makes sense.
It rhymes.
I watched it a few weeks ago, and I remember leaving the theater being like, that was a lot of fun. And then when I rewatched it, I was like, even this one feels a little outlandish for the Fast and Furious franchise. Maybe it's just me. But Kyle asked me and another friend of ours, friend of the show, who he's like, you guys want to go see Fast 9 tonight? And both of us were kind of like, like, we're okay not going. And then maybe 5 minutes in, him and I are having the best night of our entire life, while Kyle's next to me, and he's like, he can't understand why we're having so much fun already. This movie, it felt like, and it did, and I know you're gonna have a weird reaction to this, but this movie felt like, because I didn't feel it in the last one that I watched a couple weeks ago, where it felt like they actually were trying to be serious, and in this one it felt like they knew what they were doing. You know what I mean? Like they were poking fun at it. There was a lot of weird shots in this one that we haven't seen, honestly, at Fast. Like long shots, like long close-ups on some characters, and it makes for some tongue-in-cheek moments. Some of the dialogue is insane. Some of the dialogue is so outlandish, it's just hysterical. I had a blast. Yeah. I went in. This is the movie Martin Scorsese meant when he meant Marvel. This is the amusement park ride. It felt like a crazy roller coaster from start to finish. I've been a big fan of the franchise since the first one. My sister showed me the first one, and then I actually rewatched the first one with that friend of ours after we went and saw this. And that first one is probably the best of them all, honestly. It's like early 2000s trippy. It's fun, but it is serious, and it is an outlandish idea. It feels like Mad Max kind of, but it's just a good time. It was a lot of fun. And it was cool seeing Paul Walker. I haven't seen him in one of the movies in a while, but it was cool seeing him and him early, where you can tell that, the studio thought this was going to be your next heartthrob. This is going to be your next Leonardo DiCaprio type.
He was the next heartthrob.
I mean, he was in terms of those looks.
In our hearts.
I've seen some of his other movies.
Yeah.
But I had a blast with Fast 9. I thought it was so fun. They did a weird tease at the end that it actually annoyed me because it's like, who the heck are they teasing? I need to know. Although I think it'll probably be pretty obvious, but who knows with this. I just love that everybody wants in on this. They kind of poke fun at themselves a little bit. Like they poke fun at the actual incidents of the movie in this movie. Like there are some lines where they're like, how are we doing this? Like we've been doing this for like years and we're all
20 years.
alive. Everybody keeps being alive. Like just the characters are even starting to question it, which kind of just made it fun. It made, they weren't breaking the fourth wall, but it was just kind of poking fun and felt fun. I really liked all that. Is the movie good? No. I mean, in terms of like filmmaking, any critique Kyle's going to give, I can't disagree with. But I had a great time in the movie. It made like $70 million this last weekend. It had an incredible opening, which does... I actually, Kyle and I talked about this the other day. I think that shows Warner Brothers that your format isn't going to work. You need to have your movies out in theaters exclusively for a while because we had a great showing with A Quiet Place. And then we had not so great weekend with In the Heights. And then immediately after we have another great weekend. I think people want to go back to the movies. And I think just because it was a musical, which is already divisive, but then, you give people the option, they're going to take the stay at home to watch the musical. So I hope their WB's paying attention to what Fast 9 did. Glad Fast 9's doing well. I'm ready to see 10. I think 10's going to be the last, but I had a blast. But what are your negatives?
I don't even know. I mean, what I was saying to my positives when F9 is almost similar to what we've gotten for the last few Fast and Furious movies. Like, I think if people like those movies so much, then they're definitely going to like Fast 9. But I think I'm starting to get numb to this franchise, or I think I have been numb to this franchise for a while and just wouldn't really admit it to myself until now. I just think because we've seen this so many times and they just keep amping up the ridiculousness so much that it just kind of devalues the stakes, I suppose, that it doesn't really do it for me anymore. I mean, I acknowledge like the stunt work, the CGI, the action sequences, they're fun and they're really entertaining. But I've been seeing just so much of it over these past few years to where for me personally, I just don't get like that very excited fun experience that Alex was just describing not too long ago. So I don't really know what my critiques are on this. I just think it's a personality thing or just, a preferences type thing when it comes to movies. And I just think Fast and Furious for me is just starting to wear itself out too thin to where I'm not going to get the excitement that I probably did back when like Fast 5 or Fast 6 came out. And I think I've been feeling this way for a while, but I just finally haven't been admitting it to myself. Although I do like Hobbs and Shaw. I do think Hobbs and Shaw is actually a good time. But yeah, I would say like if you're a fan of like these other movies, it works. But otherwise for me, nah, I don't know. I just feel numb now.
I do apologize at the top of the show. I meant to thank the Movie Meal patrons. Thank you, Steve, Kimberly, and Karen. Go get some Movie Meals merch, all that good stuff. But you and I make no sense. This franchise, honestly, I think you and I have gotten in more arguments about this franchise and like actually really disagreed with. Normally, you and I align up pretty well. I think you and I actively have always disagreed. I do have nostalgia for this franchise, though. I really loved the first two growing up. I mean, it was a bonding point with my sister and I. I mean, we just absolutely. I mean, when Paul Walker, sadly passed away, she's the first person to text. I mean, she texted me that. She's like, "Did you hear what happened to Paul Walker?" And I was like, "Oh my God." Like I love this franchise. I always have. And it's so funny to me because 1 and 2 I think are really good. Tokyo Drift was a struggle, but I have weird nostalgia love for it. It's not great.
Sure.
And then 4 was okay. And then 5, everybody was like, okay, they figured it out. This is a great action movie. 6, continue that. I think 7 is fantastic. I think 7, they did the same thing. And I think 7 was great. I think the send off with Paul Walker was beautiful. I think 7 really hit it. And then I think for me, I was dipping at 8. And I thought 8 really struggled. I had fun with it the first time, but then obviously rewatching a few weeks ago. But for me, Hobbs and Shaw is what made me really out on the franchise.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy to me because that one seems the most outlandish of all of them. I like the banter between The Rock and Statham, which I think is probably why people like it so much. I do like that, but like they get way into some stuff that it's just like I'd rather watch the family. I want to watch the family be together. So it's so weird to me, and I think Hobbs and Shaw is just okay, but it's basically how I think you view this movie. But this movie drew me back in immediately. I was not hyped. I was in from the moment it started. I love the kookiness. I love that there's just a million cameos now. I think they're only probably going to do one more, although an article broke the other day in an interview with Vin Diesel where he said he wants to do a Fast and Furious musical. Okay.
Yeah.
And apparently Universal wants to combine it with the Jurassic World. I don't know. It keeps making $1 billion, so it's gonna keep on trucking. But right now,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I had a blast. The movie was dumb. It was fun. It was a good time for me. It's not gonna win an Oscar, but yeah, it's just I love it. So anything else?
No.
I'm sweating my butt off here. All right, guys. Thank you, Movie Meal patrons. Go get some Movie Meals merch. Go get some of the new merch design we've got. It's awesome. Like, subscribe, share, all that great stuff. Check out all the amazing videos we got on our channel. Another Happy Landing will be up this week. We're just going to push everything a week, which actually helped because this next couple weeks going to be busy, especially for video content because we're going to be just outside so much, vacationing and such. So just watch out for all that. Thank you guys for everything. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.